And hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Kpush podcast, episode 182. I am here today coming at you from none other than New England, Massachusetts, everybody. I know that that's a weird way to say New England, Massachusetts, but that's how I'm putting it, baby. I'm a little on edge right now. I'm not going to lie. I'm a little on edge. I'm not going to lie because I got out of work late and I wanted to get a quick solo episode in so I would have something to post for tomorrow because I know that we were a little late getting that Don Armand episode out because it ended up being 4.5 hours long. It ended up being 4.5 hours long, so we were a couple days late, and I didn't want to be late for this one, but turns out I brought all my podcast equipment. I brought everything. I brought the webcams, I brought the Focusrite, the audio interfacer, that's what that is, my computer, all the wires, all the web cameras, the USB extenders that I used for the web cameras. I brought everything. Except microphone cables. I brought 4 microphones, but not a single fucking microphone cable. So I... You gotta appreciate the level of professionalism you're getting here at the Kpush podcast, where we're 182 episodes in, almost 5 years into doing this, and still no ability to remember microphone cables. So that's where we're at. That's what you're listening to right now. But I went to Target and they only had 1 microphone cable left. Only one. Can you believe that? Can you believe that they only had 1 microphone cable left? It's like God wanted me to talk about Iran. Okay? God wants me to talk to you about Iran and how I feel about going to war with Iran. I mean, I could talk about anything else. I could talk about the Elon Musk breakup. I could talk about, the homelessness, the fentanyl crisis, the housing crisis. There's too many crises. But what everybody really wants to talk about, I could also talk about Sabrina Carpenter. I could talk about how Sabrina Carpenter is popping her puss on stage, and she doesn't want any more kids. She doesn't want any more kids going to her concert. But I could talk about that. But what everybody really wants me to talk about is what's going on with Iran. That's what everybody wants to know, and why, and more importantly, why we're going to war with Iran. And here's the thing with that, with the whole me talking about why we're going to war with Iran. Israel. But I don't want to get... Look, I don't want to get into that, really. That's not... Because here's the thing. I'm 21 years old. Nobody wants me to break down the war of Iran to them if you're like 30. If you're like above the age of 25, nobody wants to hear your opinion about the Middle East. They just don't. They don't find it interesting. They don't think it's important. They don't think like it's a necessity. They think that we're just blabbering on. They think that my entire generation has spent too much time on TikTok and porn, which may be the case. I'm not going to argue against that, but nobody above the age of 25 wants to hear your opinion about anything. If you're under the age of 25, it is what it is. A 40-year-old isn't going to be listening to this and going, please, break down the Middle East for me according to your understanding and your perspective. Here's what I will do, though. Can I tell you what I will do? I'm going to talk about my generation and how they're going to react to this war. And more importantly, the draft. Because here's the thing. here's the thing with this war with Iran. I don't know how it's going to be fought. This is the first war that's ever going to happen in the history of the world where before it happens, no one has any idea what it's going to look like. Okay? You could have predicted every other war. Literally every other war except World War II. That's it. That's the only one where it doesn't everything else, right? Like you had guns in World War I, and you had trench warfare. That was like kind of new. But like what? What? You got some faggots hanging out in a fucking hole. That was World War I. I maybe could have predicted that before World War I started. Okay? Some faggot with a podcast would have definitely predicted it. There's going to be faggots in holes. They're going to be like, "What? What are you talking about?" But that's what ended up happening. The only thing in history when it comes to warfare, the only thing that you really couldn't have predicted was the nuke. That's it. That's it. With every other war, World War I, you got the fucking wars that the British fought, you got the wars that the Romans fought, the wars that the fucking... Every other thing that was ever fought. Genghis Khan, the fucking conqueror, Alexander the Great. You got some improvements like bow and arrows. Whatever. You got horseback riding. Whatever. But... you could have been like, yeah, some faggot who's going to be on a horse. Like, again, you could have kind of seen this shit coming a little bit. Right? You could have, like with bow and arrow, dude, there's going to be some faggot with like a wood thing, and it's going to be a string, and he's going to, like, launch off a pointy stick, and it's going to kill somebody. And the reason why he's launching pointy sticks is because he likes faggots. So, you could have kind of... You could have kind of predicted all these other wars, right? Even like these proxy wars, right? You could have been like, yeah. Afghanistan isn't really going to exist. We're probably going to go in there with some bombs, some fucking nice missiles, cuz. We're going to have some nice missiles with those proxy wars that we fought throughout the 2000s. You could have kind of predicted all this. This is like the one war where you have no idea what the fuck is about to pop off. No clue. Because you could do boots on ground, but boots on ground is going to get real interesting because the weaponry that we have today far outmatches anything that we've ever had in the past. I mean, far out. Dude, I could pull up to the Revolutionary War with like a modern day Glock. Like a Glock. Like literally a Glock. You send Jocko Williams in the Revolutionary War with a Glock, it's over, cuz it's over. It's over in like a day. You give him a couple hand grenades and a fucking Glock, and like it's over. I mean, it's done. It's done in like a couple hours, okay? Let alone you're sending in, God knows what the military has now. God knows if you send them in a bag full of fucking grenades and some flashbangs and fucking flares and whatever the fuck that the military has that they're not even telling people like you and me, certainly not me, whatever the fuck they have. You don't even know what boots on ground is going to look like. Right? Okay, and then you're talking about Navy. What, are we going to fight this in the oceans? What the fuck is that going to look like? The military ships that we have now going to war with whatever the fuck Russia has? The modern day submarines that can go underwater for fucking 2 hours? That's never been around before. The depths that these submarines are going, you're gonna be fighting fucking miles and miles underwater. Right? And then you're going to talk about these excuse me, brain malfunction. You're going to talk about the fucking Air Force? Cuz the fucking planes that we have now, the jets that we have, the capacity, the speeds, the fucking equipment on these jets, you have no clue. No clue what this looks like. No idea. And then there's a little thing that was dropped in World War II that switches everything up. And it's called the nuke. It's called the nuke. Okay? And you have no... God damn it, you have no idea what that does. You have no idea what that does. You have Jewish people with nukes. You got Israel out here with nukes. What's that look? We've never had a Jew with a nuke. By the way, that's a good sitcom. That's my sitcom that I'm writing. A Jew with a nuke. You don't know what the fuck that looks like. Okay, with Israel coming out here with a fucking nuke? What's that thing from Fallout? That thing that they would have, like on the, it was like the nuke run. It was like a mini nuke. From Fallout, it would be like a fucking big, whatever it is. You're gonna have people running around with mini nukes on their fucking shoulder, like it's a fucking bazooka. It's just gonna be a bazooka, but in that bazooka, it's gonna be a small nuclear bomb, cuz that's what people are gonna be running around with. It's gonna be a fucking Jew. He's gonna have a fucking. He's gonna have that fucking frisbee hat on. He's gonna. It's just gonna be a person with a frisbee hat on, a long nose, and a nuclear bomb, cuz that's what World War III is gonna be. And you've never seen anything like that before. Especially in the last... Here's the thing with World War III. The Jews are not gonna be messing around. They got some revenge, okay? They got some heat on their back, alright? And they're coming back, and they're coming out strong with World War III. Because last time... didn't look too good. World War II wasn't too good for the Jews. It just wasn't. And so World War III, you can better believe the Jews aren't going to let it be bad for them again. They're not going to be the victims again this time. It might be a bunch of fucking Palestinians, but... it's not going to be the Jews. Let me tell you, it's just not. So you don't know what this war is going to fucking look like. This is the one thing. You don't know if it's going to be fought with Navy. You don't know if it's going to be fought with Air Force. You don't know if it's going to be fought with boots on ground. And on top of all three of those things, you don't know what the fuck any of that looks like. You have no idea. Okay? And then you want to get into AI. Hello. What? Sorry, what? You're going to have robots. Boots on ground. How about that? How about a Musk bot? You're just going to have a Musk bot on boots on ground, fucking people up. Just running around. They're not even going to give them a gun. They're going to be bulletproof, running around. They're just going to rip people's arms off. They're going to be super speed. It's not even going to make sense. It's like that one episode of Black Mirror with that killer dog. They're just going to send killer dogs. That's it. That's all it is. It's just going to be a bunch of drones running around with fucking whatever the fuck the U.S. military has and whatever the fuck Russia has. They're just going to be running around. It's not even going to be people, right? But at some point, in my estimation, and I don't know at what part of the war, I'm going to guess it's going to be in the beginning. Here's my theory with World War III. I'm guessing that they're going to try this boots on ground shit. It's going to start out like that because these countries, they're going to decide to go to war and they're going to try to figure out how to have it the least impact for the rich people. This was always the thing with wars, is it never really affected the rich people. It actually usually benefited them. Because they would, make all the guns, make all the bullets, make all the tanks, make all the ships, all the fucking planes that would be shot down. And they would be rolling in dough, but you'd get like the lower middle class of people, they'd all die. But like the Illuminati types, like they don't give a fuck. They don't care. This time though, with nukes, with bombs, with torpedoes, with these fights that are probably going to happen in the ocean, baby, this will affect rich people. Directly or indirectly. You don't know. The ocean's 3 years into World War III, they might be black. They might be all black. The oceans might be black. You don't know. And I have no problem with things being black. I'm very supportive. A lot of my friends are black. But the reality is I don't know how the rich people, the real ones, the real rich people, the people you don't even know the names of, I don't know how they're going to feel about their oceans being black. Okay? You just don't know. So they're going to try this boots on ground shit at some point, either in the beginning, where they're going to try to have like sort of a peaceful war, quote unquote, or a justified war, whatever the fuck they're going to call it, or it's going to be like towards the end where we really start like running out of missiles. We run out of all the Elon Musk robots. You know, we run out of all like the ships and the planes because they've all been shot down. So then it's literally just going to go back to like we're shooting each other in trench warfare. We're just going to become a bunch of faggots in holes again. Fucking every time you reload a magazine, you just throw the gun up and just get as many shots off as you can. You're not even aiming. That's what it's going to become at like some point. And here's the thing, right? The draft. If we do this boots on ground shit, which we will at some point, either towards the end or in the beginning, with World War III, you're going to have to do the draft. Because there's just not enough people in the military who want to kill people from Iran. Wouldn't that surprise you? Wouldn't that surprise you? I mean, I can't believe this. Americans, they don't want to kill people from Iran? These privileged fucks. Really. And that's what they'll say, by the way. That's what they'll say. Remember, you know how people say, they'll talk about Gen Z, they're like, they're the laziest generation. They're the laziest generation. Yeah. For sure. Absolutely. For sure, some of us are done working at the age of like 19. I mean, it's like insane. It's like insane. My sister, she's like, I work a lot. I go, how many hours do you do? She goes, 10. I go, that's a vacation. She goes, no. I'm working really hard right now. My sister was talking to her friend the other day. My sister looks at my friend and goes, are you rich? And I go, why would she be rich? And my sister goes, well, my friend, she's working a lot. She's working like crazy hours. And I looked at my sister's friend. I go, Bridget, how many hours are you working? She goes, well, I'm doing 3 shifts a week, 4-hour shifts. I go, what, 12 hours? She goes, yeah. I go, baby, you're living the dream. You were just in a swimming pool this morning. You woke up and got in a swimming pool. And then you worked for, baby, you're living the dream. You're living the dream. What are you doing? Start a podcast. What are you doing? All this spare time. Start a podcast. What are you doing? But anyway, so there's definitely a couple of us in this generation, my sister included, who don't want to work. They don't want to work. But it's also the fact that, I don't know, all the jobs suck. The value of the dollar is lost. The fact of the matter is, the American, like, things, certain jobs have gotten a lot worse. Like, with retail. This was, like, a big thing. The, like, middle-class people would do. They would do retail. But have you tried to talk to the American public of late? No, just asking. Have you talked to the American public? How are they doing? How are they doing? Oh, have you tried to work a retail job? With these fucking retards running around trying to order shit at Kava or Domino's or I don't know, any of the retail jobs I've had where they'll go, where's the water? Where's the water in the grocery store? I don't know. In the water aisle, you fucking dipshit? They have a whole aisle of water? And they go, where's the water? Where's the water? And they get mad at you. You're making $14 an hour? And you're being screamed at by this drunk person who lives in New England? Because they don't know where the water is. Okay? And you can't do anything with $14 now. You can't do a single goddamn thing with $14 now. You used to be able to get jobs. You used to be able to pay month's rent with a single week of work. That was a thing in America. That was like a real thing. I know, crazy, like crazy. So this thing with like, my generation is lazy. Sure, to a certain degree, yes. But to another certain degree, you're not doing too much to motivate us. And both things can be real. Both things can be real. But my point is they're going to do the same thing with this shit with Iran. Where they're going to go, can you believe this Generation Z bullshit? Where they won't go overseas to another foreign country and they won't shoot a baby in the face. What are you supposed to do? What are you supposed to do with this generation? They won't go over to another country and bust into somebody's house, point a gun at a mother that's screaming for her life, and put the gun in her mouth and pull the trigger. I don't know why. Why won't they do this? This generation's so lazy. They're so late. They won't even go overseas and shoot a baby in the face. They won't do it. We've tried. We've tried to motivate them. They won't shoot a fucking baby in the face. What am I supposed to do? You'll have people. This is how crazy it'll be. You'll have like Generation X people calling. You have Generation X people, Generation X and millennials. You'll have them calling like therapists. They'll be calling like therapists and going, hi. No, hi. Hi. Yeah. This is Deborah. I'm actually calling about my child, Charlie. Yeah, hi, this is Deborah. I'm calling about my child, Charlie. And my child, Charlie has actually been like talking about how he doesn't want to go to Iran and murder Iranian people. I don't know like what to do about this. And then the faggot therapist will be like, oh, well, this is a big problem. This is actually a big problem. We've seen this a lot in your generation. We actually have pills. And they'll get, believe, if you, listen to me right now. If you don't think you'll have parents in America prescribing their children antidepressants because they don't want to go fight for the military-industrial complex, God damn it, you haven't been paying attention. So now you'll get a whole nother generation hooked on Adderall and antidepressants because they don't want to go fight in Iran. Mark my words. Mark my words. Mark my words. And so here's the thing. Generation Z is a completely amoral group of human beings. This is true. This is true. This is true. It's true. It's true. There's never been another generation quite like Generation Z where there's zero morals. There's not one. They don't have a single goddamn moral compass. None of us do. And by the way, not our fault. This is one of the things with Generation Z where I will not take any blame from us as people. You can make fun of us for being transgender. You can make fun of us for everybody being bisexual or gay or whatever. You make fun of us for being ultra sensitive and not understanding the realities of the world. You make fun of us for being lazy. The one thing that I will fight you. I will literally fight you on this is, oh, dude, Generation Z is so amoral. That's like their fault. What? Wait, what? How is it our fault that all of us were raised up and all of us coincidentally don't believe in anything? My entire generation of people, they don't believe in fucking anything. That's why my best friend fucked my ex-girlfriend. That's why all of my other friends are hanging out with my ex-friend, my ex-best friend, and my ex-girlfriend. That's why everybody wants to be a podcaster or a comedian or an actor or a singer or a fucking TikTok influencer. That's why everybody is at college getting hooked on drugs. That's why everybody does nicotine, is because when you look at a Generation Z's person's face and you go, hey, you know this nicotine stuff, it's really bad for you. It's actually really bad for you and it's going to kill you. All of us go, what? I'm sorry, what? Who cares? I'm going to die? Good. I hope it's quick. I hope it's quick and I hope it's fast. That's why everybody in my generation is fucking cutting themselves. Everybody's cutting themselves, bringing guns into school, killing people. They all have manifestos on their fucking Instagram. Nobody can get off social media. It's because we're amoral. And it's not our fault. This is the one thing where it's just simply not our fault. Not even in the slightest. This is how we were raised. Okay? And I'm not even going to blame necessarily our parents. I'm not going to blame Generation X. In fact, I'm more so blame the boomers. Because they've, the way, here, let me just give you some of the things that we've watched growing up, okay? So Generation Z is about 1997 to like 2008. Around there. I think it may be a little bit longer. I think it might be like 2010. It might be a little bit earlier to like 1996. But that's about all of Generation Z. Okay? So here's what Generation Z grew up in, okay? All of us were born or grew up in the aftermath of 9/11, okay? All of us were told that we all needed to go into a foreign country and go take out a group of people and that somehow would make our country safer. Okay? Sounds similar. Huh? Sounds like weird. Sounds weirdly similar to something else that may be going on right now. But anyways, that didn't work. Okay, Boston bombings still happened. A bunch of terrorist attacks still happened after 9/11, even after TSA molests you every time you go through security. Terrorist attacks still happened, okay? A lot more school shootings. Weird, huh? Weird. Invading other countries and bombing the shit out of them, for whatever reason, didn't seem to get rid of school shootings in this country. Odd. South side of Chicago, still south side of Chicago. Weird. Also weird. Spending billions and billions and billions, also like trillions of dollars in some countries, bombing the shit out of them, killing babies, killing wives, killing cousins and sisters. Didn't help the south side of Chicago. Weird. So this like whole idea that we were going to make America safe somehow by invading the Middle East and bombing the shit out of Iraq, Afghanistan, Yemen, whatever the fuck you want to say. Whatever Middle East country that we've invaded. Didn't help. Didn't work. Okay? So no one believes in the military in my generation. Not our fault. Not our fault. That is strictly because of the aftermath of 9/11. And I'm not blaming, the government for 9/11. Some people in my generation do. I'm not necessarily one of them. Some of the things look a little suspicious. I will say that. Some of the things surrounding 9/11 are a little odd. Little odd. Not saying anything. Not saying George Bush was behind the whole thing and he wasn't fucking remote controlling the aircraft as it went into the towers. Not saying that. But some of the things are a little odd. And certainly the aftermath was atrocious. Okay? So my entire generation, we watched our uncles, our nieces, our uncles, our brothers, our sisters, our cousins, our fathers, and our mothers go overseas, like my uncle was. My uncle was deployed in fucking Iraq or Afghanistan. Who cares? It's all the same. We watched all these people go overseas. Some of them not come back. Some of them come back with extreme PTSD. And the government does absolutely nothing to help those people. We didn't accomplish any of the goals. And it didn't make the country safer. Okay? So you have an entire generation of people who don't believe in the military for absolutely great reasons. Okay? Then you have the 2008 market crash. Okay? How'd that go? Did the jobs come back? Did it? Did the jobs, after the 2008 market crash, after they completely repeated themselves over and over and over again, did they come back? Did the jobs come back? Did we recover from 2008? I'm confused. Because that was the whole thing, is that we were going to bail out all these companies who have completely fucked the American people, but it was going to be good for the American people, right? How'd that work out? Let me know. Let me know how that worked out. Did my mom losing her job to the point where she was driven to alcoholism and beat me, did that help? No, I'm just throwing out questions. I'm Tucker Carlson. I'm just asking questions. I'm confused. I thought the jobs are coming back. My mom remained unemployed until she opened up a pickleball company. What? Sorry, what? So let me know. Did that work? Did trusting the banks work? No, it didn't. Okay. So you have an entire generation of people who don't believe in banking. They don't believe in banking or the value of the dollar. People ask me, what does your dad do? I go, he's a banker. They spit in my face. They spit in my mouth. They go, open up, faggot, and they spit right in my mouth. Okay? And I go, well, it's not entirely my fault that my dad's job is he's a banker. And they look at me and they go, fuck you. And I can't even argue with them. It's a great point. Fuck me. It's an excellent point, actually. Actually, it's an excellent point. And okay. So you have an entire generation of people who don't believe in banking, the value of the dollar, nor do they believe in the military. All reasons completely not our fault. Okay? So then what happens after that? Then COVID happens. By the way, first 20 years of all of Generation Z's life lived out the aftermath of 9/11, lived out the aftermath of the 2008 market crash, and then you get into college, you get into, or you're a senior in high school, and you go, whoopee, life's so fun, right? Nope. COVID. Fuck you, stay inside. Fuck you, no prom. Fuck you, no graduation. Okay? Right? And by the way, how'd that work out? Just asking. Asking for a friend. How did COVID work out? Did it work? No. I'm Tucker Carlson. I'm asking questions. COVID work? I'm just asking. Did COVID work? Was Texas so much worse than California? Did the states that didn't lock down, were they so much worse than all the other countries? Was Sweden fucked? Was Sweden absolutely horrendous? Oh, by the way, the vaccine. Oh, boy. How'd the vaccine work out, faggots? How'd that work out? Remember? Remember when they were like, you can't go into a restaurant unless you have a vaccine card? Remember that? That kind of dictatorship type shit? How'd that work out? Just asking. Just asking questions. Did the vaccine fucking work? Huh? Did it fucking work? Did the COVID virus all of a sudden go away right after the vaccine was rolled out? Or did we have, oh, that's right. That's right, we had Omicron. That happened about a year later, right after the vaccine mandate. And right after everybody got the fucking vaccine, there was a new strain. Interesting. Oh, that's fascinating. Isn't that odd? Isn't that odd how it works? Okay. And also you had Fauci completely lie through his teeth every single day. The head of the health department completely lying through his fucking teeth every day. Also funded gain-of-function research in China, which created the virus. Okay. So, can we recap? Let's recap, shall we? So, Generation Z, born into the aftermath of 9/11, where they said they were going to keep our country safe. Never happened. Never fucking happened. That didn't work. Grew up in the aftermath of the 2008 market crash. They said the jobs were coming back. They said the value of the dollar was going to come back. Didn't happen. They said with COVID that they were going to keep us safe, that the vaccine was going to work. They said that staying inside was going to prevent the disease. Didn't work. Okay. So then you have a generation of people who don't believe in the military, don't believe in banking, nor do they believe in the value of the dollar, and then they don't believe in big pharma. If only there was something else. Oh yeah. Remember how they said Trump was a Russian asset? Do you remember that? Remember how they said Trump was a Russian asset from the 80s? I guess because he was on a fucking reality TV show for years. The most American thing that you can do is to get on a fucking reality television show. For 8 years, they tried to impeach him over it. And it was all put on bullshit. All of it. And then they tried to impeach him again because he fucked a stripper. Or a porn star, or whoever the fuck it was. Who gives a fuck? Some sort of sex worker. So they try to the media tried to impeach the president twice. 2 times. Over fucking a stripper in a completely fabricated story. And Tim Dillon said this, they won't impeach Trump over going to war with Iran without a declaration of war from Congress. No. What? Impeach a president over something that they should be impeached by? Committing a war? What? Who cares about committing a war crime? Who cares? Literally, who cares? Like, seriously, who cares? Because if they impeached Donald Trump for committing war crimes and starting a war without the declaration of war from Congress, they'd have to impeach and they'd have to prosecute Obama, George Bush, Bill Clinton, all for starting the same thing, for starting wars without the declaration of war from Congress. They would all go to jail for that, and all of them should. Donald Trump, Obama, Bill Clinton, and George Bush all started wars without a declaration of war from Congress, which is an act of war crime that you could be sentenced to jail forever. Nah. Fucked a stripper. You know? He fucked a stripper. That's like what we should impeach him on. They won't do this with Iran, though. Believe that. And also, you want to talk about the media going after Trump with all this horseshit. The media was the thing that supported all the fucking COVID shit. And they supported the 2008 market crash. And they supported the aftermath of 9/11. Okay. Recap again. So you have Generation Z, a group of people who do not believe in military, do not believe in the value of the dollar, nor do they believe in banking system. They don't believe in big pharma, and they don't believe in big media. Okay. Am I missing something? Am I missing something? Oh yeah. Everybody in religion's a pedophile. We also grew up during that. We also grew up during this idea that apparently everybody in fucking religion's a pedophile. Everybody's grooming kids. Everybody's trying to fuck kids. Everybody, this whole idea of like, oh, these people, they're like God. They're like God. They talk to God and then they come down and they talk to you. They talk to you. They tell you what God wants. Meanwhile, in the back, they're fucking a kid in the butthole. No lube. They might put some fucking hand lotion on it if they're lucky. If the kid's lucky, they might throw some fucking hand lotion on it. Did God tell you that? Huh? Did God tell you to put some hand lotion on the kid's butthole before you shove your dick in? I wonder. Okay. I wonder though, like, is everybody, like, that's it though, right? With pedophilia. That's like the only thing Generation Z has seen with pedophilia. Oh, right. Jeffrey Epstein and P. Diddy. Oh, yeah. They did have pedophile rings. They did, like, fuck kids and fuck minors. Like everybody. Okay. So you have... Let recap one more time with me. So a generation of people who don't believe in the military, the banking system, the value of the dollar, they don't believe in big pharma, they don't believe in big media, and they also don't believe in religion. They don't believe in an upper class of people who are like, you know, they might be evil, they might be abusing people, but they certainly aren't pedophiles. Nope, they're all pedophiles. And they don't believe in Hollywood, because everyone in Hollywood's a pedophile as well. Okay. Is there anything else I'm missing out on? Oh, reality television shows. So you can be famous for doing nothing. So then the facade of fame is gone as well, because before, like, reality television shows, there was like this idea that you had to be like talented to be famous. You had to like work hard, right? Like, oh yeah, Michael Jackson, he's worth $12 billion. But like, have you seen him dance? Have you seen him sing? Have you seen him write music? He like deserves it, right? That was gone with reality television shows. Okay. So, you have a generation of people who don't believe in the military, the banking system, value of the dollar, big pharma, the big media. They don't believe in religion. They don't believe in Hollywood. They don't believe in an upper class of people. And they don't even believe in fame. But that could be it, right? Like, that's all the big moral things that, like, the older generations got to believe to so that they could, like, stay sane at their, like, minimum wage job. Oh, right, education. Right. The idea that we need more education, that college should be, I don't know, $500,000 per tuition. That should cost $1 million to fucking go to college. How about that? Where's that? How's that going, right? Because you would expect, with the Department of Education, with standardized testing, with all the money that we throw at education in this country, all the fucking money, these public school systems, everybody has to go to college. Everybody has to spend God knows how much money to go get a college degree, to go work at McDonald's. How's that going? Oh, right. The country's as dumb as ever has been. This country's never been fucking stupider. I just said stupider. That's how stupid this fucking country is. Right? How's education going? Is education working in this country? Has it worked? Are most people not at a third grade reading level? How's that going? Oh, it's failed. Okay. So, you have an entire generation of people who don't believe in the military, they don't believe in the banks, they don't believe in the value of the dollar, they don't believe in big pharma, they don't believe in big media, they don't believe in religion, they don't believe in a higher class of people, they don't believe in Hollywood, and they sure as hell don't believe about fame. But on top of all that, they don't even believe in education anymore. And you're going to send these people to Iran to fight for the country? Good luck. Good luck. Good fucking luck. Because I'm telling you this right fucking now. Okay? If I get a draft letter in my fucking mailbox, I'm going to start my own fucking killing spree, because there's a lot of people I think who deserve a bullet in the brain, and none of them are fucking in Iran. No, they're actually on this country. Yeah. My fucking ex-girlfriend, she'll be 6 feet in the fucking ground. I get a fucking draft notice. My fucking faggot ex-girlfriend who wants blue hair, how about I fucking make it red? We'll make it fucking purple with your blood. How about that? Huh? How about that? How about the fucking border hopper who fucked my ex-girlfriend? How about that? He'll be 6 feet in the ground, I'll tell you that. How about the fucking 8th grade teacher who would treat me like I'm fucking retarded? Fucking Mrs. Richards, you're getting a bullet to the brain, I'll tell you that much. If I get a fucking draft letter in this fucking country, I'm going on a killing spree. And I'm not the only one. I'm a white boy. I'm a crazy white boy. I'm not a fucking kid from the south side of Chicago who's in a gang. How many people you think he's gonna fucking kill when he gets the draft letter? He already wants to kill people. He's already probably killed people. How many more? How many more people you think he's gonna kill right before you fucking go pick him up for the military? Good luck. You're not going to get these fucking generation of people who are addicted to drugs and porn. You're not going to fucking get them out on the battlefields of Iran. Not going to happen. It's just not. It's not going to happen. I'm going out like Luigi Mangione if I get the fucking draft letter. I'll kill one CEO and my ex-girlfriend and a couple others. That's it. That's it. Who gives a fuck? I'm going to die anyways. Who cares? I'd rather, if I'm going to go out killing people, I'm going to go out killing people I want to kill. That's what it comes down to. Okay? And if I get that fucking draft letter, I swear to God, some people in this country are getting the fucking bullet. And it is what it is. And I know, sure as shit, this generation full of school shooters, I'm not the only fucking one. So they might try this draft shit, but I guarantee you when they see the fucking response of this generation, who have just been waiting for an excuse to pop off. That's it. That's all I've been doing my whole life is waiting for an excuse to just grab a gun and just pop a fucking couple bullets off. It is what it is. It is what it is. A couple people are going to get lost in this country when the draft letters start going out. This generation of amoral fucks who have been threatening to fucking kill themselves since they were 13 years old. How far are you going to push us? How far? Seriously. Seriously, how fucking far? Because I guarantee you it's not going to look good. This whole thing with this war with Iran, nobody wants this shit. And they certainly don't want to fucking draft. I certainly don't want to fucking draft. And if I got to kill, or if I got to kill myself to get out of that fucking draft, so I have to go over to another fucking country and fight for the military-industrial complex, because that's who you'll be fighting for. Oh, that is who you'll be fighting for, is the military-industrial complex. You're not going to be fighting for this country. You're just not. You're not going to be fighting for this fucking country. You're going to be fighting for the fucking Jews in Israel. All right. I've run late. I have to go have dinner with my family. I have to... I have to go have dinner with my family after I just ranted about Iran for the past 53 minutes. All right, so I might come back. I might record another 10 minutes, just kind of recap everything. I might not, though, so this might be the end of the episode. It might not be. If you made it this far, thank you so much. If I come back, I come back. If not, this has been episode 182. You're welcome. You're welcome. You're welcome. You're fucking welcome, you fucking slut whore.